So, we are now in our very last lesson, no, sa ating elective science 8, no, na chemistry. So, combined gas laws. So, in here, of course, ang point nito, no, ng combined gas law is that hindi everything is constant. So, di ba, merong mga problems, no, na constant ang temperature, constant ang pressure, ganyan. So, what if hindi constant ang lahat, no? So, doon nag-come up ng combined gas laws. But, of course, on this last part of our discussion, ang i-combine ko lang, no, is Charles and Boyle's law. So, hindi ko na isasali si Avogadro's law, no, sa problem natin. Okay, so if you notice dito sa ating picture na this is our Boyle's law, no? Okay, and then ito naman yung ating. So again, Boyle's and Charles' law. So it will result in an expression that shows a relationship between volume of gas, pressure, and temperature. So, yan. Ito yung ating formula, no, for the combined gas laws, specifically Boyle's and Charles' law. So, for a given mass of gas, the volume is inversely proportional to pressure and directly proportional naman siya sa ating temperature. So, ganun yung relationship nilang tatlo. Okay? So, ito yung ating formula. P1 or pressure 1 multiplied to V1 or volume 1 divided by T1 is equal to P2 times V2 divided by T2. Okay? So, proceed agad tayo with sample problem and then doon ko na lang sa problem mismo i-arrange yung paano ba natin gawin yung ating pag-determine ng ating formula na gagamitin. Okay, so we are now on our sample problem number 1. So a given mass of gas occupies a volume of 10 liters at standard temperature and pressure. To what temperature must the gas be heated to change the volume of 50 liters at the pressure of 3 atm? So let's determine the given. Note, before ang given pala, standard temperature and pressure is 273 Kelvin and 1 atm naman for pressure. Take note, for temperature, 273 Kelvin. For pressure naman is 1 atm. So, ang given natin with that, no, so P1, 1 atm, no, a given mass of gas occupies 10 liters at STP. Okay, so ang P1 natin meaning 1 atm. Ang V1 naman natin, no, sa first part ng ating question nandyan 10 liters. Ang T1 naman natin, no, at standard temperature at pressure, so 273 Kelvin. Ang P2 naman natin, no, ang pressure 2 naman natin is 0.300 atm. At ang V2 naman natin is 50 liters. So, ang hinahanap natin is ang ating what? To what temperature? So, meaning, T2 yung nawawala. Okay? So, here is our formula. So, based lang din sa ginawa natin on the previous na mga videos, no, sa, tawag nito, specifically sa ating Charles and Avogadro's law. So, pag ganito yung nangyayari, since nasa denominator yung ating hinahanap, we'll just have to rearrange it or transfer it on the other side. So, si P1 and V1, meron na siyang katabi na T2. Si P2 and V2, may katabi na siya na T1. And since we are looking for T2, so you notice, ito yung hinahanap natin. Yung mga kasama niya ngayon, ibababa natin sa kabilang side. And ito na sila. Okay? Ganun lang kasimple ha. Again. Si T2, pinagtabi lang natin sa kabilang side since denominator siya, naging numerator siya. Si T1 naman, pinagtabi lang natin sa kabilang side. Denominator, naging numerator. So, ito na yung labas. So, since we are looking for T2, and here, no, so meron tayong T2, So, ang nangyari, yung mga katabi niya, binaba lang din natin. So, since numerator sila, nilagay natin sila sa baba ni P2, B2, and P1. Okay? So, I hope you got that. Okay? So, now, distribution na tayo ng values. So, ang P2 natin, 0.300 atm. Ang V2 naman natin is 50 liters. At ang ating P1 no, is 273 Kelvin. Okay? Ang P1 naman natin is 1 atm. At ang ating V1 naman is 10 liters. Okay? So, i-multiply at i-divide lang natin. First is, of course, observe the units. So, of course, ito, makancel ito. Cancel, no? ATM and ATM, cancel din sila. Liters and liters, cancel din. So, maiwan na unit natin is Kelvin. And, it's right kasi nga, we are looking for temperature. So, next, we have to multiply, no, first. So, 0.300 times 50 times 273. And then, we're gonna divide it no, sa ating denominator, which is 1 and 10. Okay? So, if you do that sa inyong calculator, you will get no, 409.5 Kelvin. And since 5 naman siya, pwede lang natin i-round off. No? 410 Kelvin. Okay? So, I hope sa first sample problem pa lang natin, na-gets nyo na no, kung paano siya gawin. Okay, sample problem number 2. 500 liters of a gas in a flexible walled container are prepared at 700 millimeters of mercury. So, this is our pressure. And 200 degrees Celsius. The gas is placed into a tank under high pressure. When the tank cools to 20 degrees Celsius, the pressure of the gas is 30 atm. What is the volume of the gas? So, on the question, makita natin kung ano yung hinahanap. So, ang given natin, of course, first na na-mention, no, is the liters, pero ilalagay ko muna yung pressure. No? Pressure is 700, P1, no, is 700 mmHg. Ang V1 naman natin is 500 liters. Ang T1 natin, no, which is 200 degrees Celsius, and of course, ang gagawin natin or ang gagamitin natin all the time is in Kelvin na unit. Kasi nga may absolute zero si Kelvin. So, 200 plus 273 is equal to 473 Kelvin. Now, going back to the question, ang P2 natin ngayon no, is 1. This one, 30 atm. And again, ang hinahanap natin ng V2, no? And of course, ang ating T2 naman no, is 20 degrees Celsius and i-convert natin ulit sa Kelvin. And we'll get 293 Kelvin. Okay? So, if na-notice niyo na merong different unit no, na meron sa given natin, especially ang pressure. As what you notice, 700 mmHg yung P1 natin. Ang P2 natin is 30 atm. So, hindi sila same ng tawag nito, ng unit. So, dapat i-figure out natin ito. Going back to the conversion, no, take note na doon, ang isang atm is equivalent to 760 mmHg. So, pag i-convert natin, no, so, yung 700 mmHg natin into atm, so, ganito lang, di ba, yung gagawin. Okay? So, ilalagay natin yung equivalent, no, ng 1 atm sa which is the 760 mmHg para makancel ito. Ilalagay natin siya sa denominator. Okay? And, of course, pag i-compute natin 700 times 1 divided by 760, we'll get 0.92105263157 or simply 0.921 atm. Okay? So, imbes na 700 mmHg yung nandito, it will be change no, into 0.921 atm. Okay, so ito yung ating formula, right, for the combined gas law, the Boyle's and Charles law. And what we are looking for is the V2. Okay? So, si V2 yung hinahanap natin. Okay? So, same pa rin yung gagawin, no? Though, tawag nito, nandito, si V2 sa numerator, pero para, kumbaga, para hindi tayo masyadong malito, i-transfer lang ulit natin sa kabilang side yung mga denominator natin. So, P1, V1, and T2 magkatabi. P2, V2, and T1 magkatabi. Okay? So, yan. As what you notice, pati yung problem, no, nilagay ko na dyan. So, since, tawag nito, V2 yung hinahanap natin, no? So, mangyayari, itong P2 at T1, no, ilalagay natin sa kabilang side, no, magiging denominator. Kaya, nandito na sila. Okay? So, distribute natin. So, ang P1 natin, no, from 700 mmHg, naging 0.921 atm. And then, ang V1 naman natin is 500 liters. So, nandiyan na siya. Ang T2 naman natin is 293 Kelvin. Ang P2 naman natin is 30 atm. And, ang ating T1 naman is 473 Kelvin. So, para hindi kayo malito, you can multiply ito muna. And then, multiply nyo din yung sa baba before nyo siya i-divide. Okay? So, we'll get V2, no? Ang value na ating V2 is 9.51 liters. So, ganun lang siya ganun lang pag-solve, no? Sa ating combined gas law. So, I hope na-gets nyo lang siya. Next sample, problem number 3. A gas has a volume of 800 ml at negative 23 degrees Celsius and 300 Thor. No? So we have our volume, temperature, and we have our pressure. What would be the volume of the gas? So V2 pa rin yung hinahanap natin. B at 227 degrees Celsius and 600 Thor of pressure. Okay? So of course, yung given natin, P1 and B1, no? P1, 300. V1 naman natin, 800 ml. Ang T1 naman natin is negative 23 degrees Celsius plus 273. So, we'll get 250 Kelvin. Ang P2 naman natin, no, is 600 Thor. And what we are looking for, again, is V2. And then, ang T2 naman natin is 227 plus 273. We have 500 Kelvin. So, again, ito yung ating formula. And, i-linear lang natin siya. No? This one. Since V2 yung hinahanap, so same formula from sample problem number 2. So, distribute lang natin. P1, 300 Thor. Okay? Ang V1, 800 ml. Now, looking at the given. Ang T2 naman natin is 500 Kelvin. Ang ating P2 naman is 600 Thor, and ang ating T1 naman, no, is 250 Kelvin. So again, multiply muna natin yung numerator lahat, and then multiply natin yung denominator lahat, no, and then i-divide. So once ma-divide natin yan sila, V2 is equal to 800 ml. Okay? So ganun lang siya kadali. So I hope na gets nyo lang siya, no? Ang crucial lang talaga dito is understanding the question first, and then determining the given, and determining what is the arrangement of the formula. And you're good to go. Sample problem number 4. A balloon of air now occupies 10 liters at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, and 1 atm. What temperature was it initially if it occupied 9.40 liters and was in a freezer with a pressure of 0.939 atm. So, ang given natin, ang P1 natin is what? Bakit 0.939? Take note sa question, what temperature was it initially? So, meaning, nauna binigay yung later. Oh, a balloon of air now occupies. So, meaning, yung ngayon and before yung natin, yung meaning nito. So, ngayon daw, ang balloon of air is nag-occupy siya ng 10 liters at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. Ang question is, ano daw siya initially? Kaya, kumbaga, hindi lahat ng nauna sa question na part is sila talaga yung magiging 1, no? Depending on the question, especially pag merong initially and now na term, meaning, mababaliktad talaga yan siya. Okay? So, if it occupied 940 liters and was in a freezer with pressure of 0.939 atm, kaya ito yung ating P1. Ang V1 naman natin is 940 liters. And of course, ang hinahanap natin is P1. Okay? P1 yung hinahanap natin. P2 natin is 1 atm. V2 natin is 10 liters. And ang ating T2 naman is 25 degree Celsius. No? Plus 273, we have 298 Kelvin. So again, ito yung formula natin. And ang gagawin na natin is i-linear natin siya. Okay? Again, paano siya i-linear? I-transfer lang yung mga denominator sa kabilang side as a numerator. Okay? And you will get the linear form of the formula. So, since we are looking for T1, yung itong P2 at V2, i-transfer lang natin sa baba ni P1, B1, at ni T2. So, though, baliktad lang siya, pero I hope na gets nila. Okay, so ang P1 natin is 0.939 atm multiplied to V1, which is 9.4 liters. And then, T2 naman natin is 298 Kelvin. Divide naman natin siya sa P2, which is 1 atm and 10 liters naman for V2. Okay, so we'll get what? Using your calculator, you can do this. 0.939 times 940 times 298. Take note, makancel pala ha. ATM, liters. Ang may iwan sa atin is Kelvin. So, we'll get what? 263 Kelvin. The form of the final temperature was not specified, but it is usually asked for in Celsius. Okay? Kasi nga, Celsius yung given. Okay? So, Celsius yung given. So, ang gagawin lang natin is what? Tawag nito? To convert it into Celsius. Kasi nga, Celsius yung given natin. So, T1, no? 263, no? So, ang mayayari, minus 273, diba? Kasi, ano natin siya tawag nito, it is in Celsius natin siya. We'll get negative 10 degree Celsius. Okay? So, ganun lang siya. Though hindi siya masyadong madali, but it needs your understanding, no? Kasi merong mga questions na crucial minsan. Okay, sample problem number 5. So, medyo marami akong binigay na sample problem dito, no? Para mas maintindihan. What is the volume of a gas at 2 atm and 200 Kelvin if its original volume was 300 liters at 0.250 atm and 400 Kelvin? So, ang given natin, ang P1, no, is 0.250. No? Kasi nga, take note, maliban sa now, initially, meron tayong original na term. No? So, ang P1 natin is 0.250 atm. Ang V1 naman natin, no, is 300 liters. At ang T1 naman natin is 400 Kelvin. So, as what you notice, hindi na tayo nag-add ng 273 kasi in Kelvin form na siya. Ang P2 naman natin is 2 atm. At ang ating hinahanap, no, is the V2. And ang ating T2 naman is 200 Kelvin. So, again, hindi na natin siya i-convert into, or hindi na tayo nag-add ng 273 kasi nga Kelvin na siya. So, again, same formula, i-linear lang natin siya. And V2 naman, no, is so familiar na based sa mga previous na problem. So, ilalagay lang natin yung mga amounts or values, no? Multiply muna natin ito lahat. Multiply ito. Of course, cancel, no? Kelvin, liters yung may iwan natin na value. So, pag i-multiply natin, no, both, and then divide, ang V2 natin is 18.75 liters. Okay? So, this will serve as a practice. So, I want you to, like, confirm if tama ba yung sagot, no? And, if you have any questions regarding this, no, just message me. So, ito yung mga sagot nila. Okay? So, I want you to confirm it for practice. Okay? So, I hope you understood, no, lahat ng mga videos na ginawa ko, no? Though, medyo mahirap Pero I hope you can do it. You can watch other videos ha, para maintindihan ninyo lalo. Okay? Thank you so much everyone. Good luck sa mga quizzes.